Alright, we're live.
Oh, we are.
Yeah, I think I fixed it.
Echo is gone. No more echo.
There's a little bit of echo. There's the natural echo that occurs because we're in a garage.
Right. We can't do much about that for now. All right. Well, glad we got that solved. Good job, Paul. But on with the show. We have a lot of stuff to get to today. A lot of things to talk about. A lot of topics. A lot of crazy things are happening. There's a lot of news this week that we also.
I should listen
have
to you and not us on the stream from like 15 seconds.
Yes. Pay attention to me. Pay attention to present Kyle. All right. Past Kyle is not nearly as interesting. He's very predictable.
Arctic Panther just went to sleep.
Good night, Arctic Panther. Sweet dreams. So, as you guys know, we usually start off by telling you guys about our merchandise. This is something that we've been doing for a while now. We are still selling merchandise, so shirts, anything from shirts to hoodies. We're having a hoodie sale right now, $10 off all of our hoodies. That includes all the hoodies that are on Paul's store and all the hoodies that are on my store. Now, I think one of you guys, a viewer actually mentioned this to us before, and they kind of got confused with how the merchandise stores work. They thought that Paul and I shared one merchandise store on one website with one URL. That's not necessarily the case. Even though we do this live show every week together, we have our own independent merchandise stores. His is paulshardware.net.
Store.paulshardware.net.
Store.paulshardware.net.
Paulshardware.net proper is actually down right now, so don't go there. Just go to store.paulshardware.net, which still is up. And
that's the site that matters.
Yeah, that's important.
And then mine's is awesomesaucenetwork.com/store. And I do have a new shirt design that just recently came out about a week or two ago. It's my Stay Positive shirt. You can go ahead and check it out. It has been doing really well lately, so I might be bringing it back. At first, the sales were really slow when I first launched it. I think I just didn't do enough marketing with it. But now sales are really starting to pick up. And I saw Jay. Jay was wearing my shirt in one of his videos the other day. So I guess I'm a big leaguer now.
A bold move. No, that always gets you. You know, that's he has lots of groupies.
Yes, he does.
I wear anything he wears.
That's me. So go ahead and check those out. Paul is still selling mugs and glasses on his website as well. Again, hoodies on both of our websites, on both of our stores, are $10 off, which is a pretty big discount. And that's going to be going all the way until the end of this month. So October 31st is your last chance to get a really discounted hoodie from either of our stores. And if you happen to pick up anything from both of our stores during the stream, you will get a Loud and Proud Double Johnson from both Paul and I.
Indeed, you will.
And if you don't know what that's all about, if you don't know what we're talking about there, then you'll just have to pick some up and then find out the hard way. The Hard Johnson.
Is that that's coincidentally the name of Kyle's new segment today? Also,
the Hard Johnson.
The Hard Way.
The Hard Way.
Sponsored
by Paul's Hardware.
That'd be a good segment name.
Yes. Yeah. Do we have any other announcements? No, right?
Hoodies. No,
I have the show doc. I don't know why I don't just look.
Yeah.
No, I don't. We don't have any announcements. That's it. So let's go on to our first segment. Let's just get the ball rolling. Wait, we had beer check.
Beer check.
What do you have?
I have beer. It's not open yet.
Do we seem kind of scattered?
I still have. We did get the audio thing through us. It was also one of those things where like getting all set up, ready to go, and then we're like, wait, we haven't done anything with audio yet.
Yeah.
Crap. But anyway, I have. This is from Manzanita Brewing Company. Kyle brought this over. This is called Gillespie Brown, which I assume is a brown ale.
Yes, it is. I've never had it.
And there's a Manzanita on the front.
But it's good.
9.5% alcohol by volume.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Paul drunk again.
We'll see how that goes.
That's like my MO. Anytime that I'm at your house for Awesome Hardware, I'm going to try to get you drunk because you don't have to drive home, so it's okay.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
that should be the goal of the person who doesn't have to, or who has to drive.
And we'll incorporate that person having to drink in all of our segments that we talk about.
Good idea.
Somehow. And then I've got Clown Shoes Brown Angel. I also went with a brown ale. It's actually a double brown ale, so might have a little bit of a hop to it. But Clown Shoes is time and again one of my favorite breweries.
They do some good stuff over there.
They do. We'll see how this one is.
Okay.
Let's do the pouring.
Thank you to everyone who's commenting on how stuff looks back here. I just posted a video earlier today, a garage work log that showed all the work I did in here over the weekend because I cleared a bunch of crap out, put in these. I messed up. I was gonna be like, hey, is something different? I was gonna do a stupid joke like that. We'll do it on my half of the show. My half of the show, we'll pretend we don't know that.
Everyone will have forgotten by it.
But yeah, put in some new countertops. I'm really happy with it. Got a lot less clutter going on. Still tons of work to do with organizing, and the dining room over there is where all the stuff has been relocated to. And yeah, I still have lots of work to do, but very happy to have gotten all this in.
It does look much tidier back here, I will say. So much more room for activities.
A lot fewer like black widows and other dangerous creatures that might bite you.
I'm glad you never told me that those were.
Oh yeah, they were
here.
everywhere.
Probably
Killed hundreds just in the past 48 hours.
sweet. Okay, so let's go into our first segment. My first segment of this half of the show
What
is. Do you have the lower thirds ready?
What is it? I forget.
Games report.
Oh, the games.
It's the games report.
Yes.
We are so on top of
I'm
it
ready.
today. So the first thing I want to talk about in the games report. This is, by the way, a segment where we talk about video games. In case you couldn't tell from the obvious title. This we're talking about Ubisoft. They kind of were teasing their new game Far Cry Primal earlier today on Twitter.
Okay.
They released like a series of images of like old cave paintings. It's like what the f are you doing, Ubisoft? Just tell us what the hell you're doing. And then there was actually IGN Turkey. I didn't even know there was a Turkey IGN. But someone on the IGN's Turkey Twitter pages blurted out confirmation of this game. I guess accidentally, they weren't supposed to. The tweet was removed,
No.
but now there's been an official statement by Ubisoft saying, yep, it's going to happen. So in case you're a Far Cry fan, which I wouldn't consider myself a diehard one. I've never really...
Which we're not. We think
which
it
we're totally
sucks.
not.
Yeah.
But I have to, commend the game for lasting this long and doing good, technically. I mean, they get pretty good sales each time they come out with a new one. Far Cry Blood Dragon is probably my favorite Far Cry. Even though it was a one-off, still just freaking hilarious.
Look how
voice
long
acting.
this is like one of those cell phone data commercials with how long this tree is taking
Yeah.
to load up here.
We're
This
the-
must be an
victims.
insanely high resolution image. That or just the internet infrastructure in the United States is completely gone.
That's what it is.
I'm sure it will load eventually.
All right.
Well, what's at the bottom? What's at the bottom?
It's just some-
the people around a fire.
Some half-naked dudes
Hmm.
cooking some beans. Or I don't think they had beans back then. Well, they
Okay.
did, but not the kind of beans I'm talking about. All right, so anyway, it's a game. It's it's set in 10,000 BC during the Stone Age, if you
Okay.
couldn't tell. So there's woolly mammoths, there's saber-toothed tigers. It kind of reminds me of Ark Survival. You know what I mean? Survival Evolved or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I guess just really the theme is really the only thing that strikes me as being in common, because I think it's got its own gameplay style and whatnot. But there you go. PC release is in March of 2016. I had 2015 written down here, but that's already happened. We are going back in time in the game,
Now you've corrected it, but you never need that note again. That note has been used.
Yes,
it has
it
served
has.
its purpose.
yes, it has. So there you guys go. Let's move on to the next story.
Show
Cyberpunk,
seems really rough so far.
right?
We've done. How long have we been? This is our 33rd episode. You
Maybe
think
we're not drunk enough.
we need to drink more.
That's like a-
I'm trying to finish off. But I still have Anchor Steam.
If we don't drink, it's
this
like
is
we
my
lose our mojo.
This is my pre-show beer, and I haven't finished it yet.
I know. Shame on you.
Okay, what's next?
Gotta catch up. All right, there's another game coming out by the same folks who did The Witcher 3. CD Projekt Red is coming out with Cyberpunk 2077, and it's allegedly going to be a far more expansive game than The Witcher 3 ever was, which says a lot considering.
How do you decide on that year? 2077. Like we're gonna go 2075.
I don't know.
No, 2075 is too
Right.
quarter percentage. Or
There's got to be some like
too much
literature
around-
reference there, right? Because I mean, it doesn't really roll off the tongue, so I don't know.
2077.
2077.
It's like Metro 2033. I guess you have to have the last two digits of 20 whatever has to be the
Identical,
same,
right.
and then you're living in a video game year, the same year that a video game predicted something would happen, and then that thing should have to happen
And it has to be in the future.
at that time. New rule.
Yep.
Okay.
So, what I mean by it's going to be a bigger game than Witcher 3 is that it's going to have more longevity and there's going to be more content than Witcher 3, which is crazy because it's like Witcher 3 was probably one of the biggest AAA single-player games that have ever been created, that's ever been developed, really. Also, the developers were saying that Witcher 3 was kind of a pain in the ass to make. That they ran into a lot of issues and it was like a brutal learning experience at times.
Okay.
But all of that crap that they had to deal with for that game is going to inevitably benefit this game, Cyberpunk 2077, just because of all the shit that they've learned since Witcher 3's huge success. Just a few.
It's like Guy Ritchie going from Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels to Snatch.
I've seen both of those movies.
As a random parallel to draw, but it makes perfect sense.
Is it because it was just like a huge step up?
Because Lockstock, you really want to go down this road?
I'm just curious. Give me the long and short of it.
They made Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels,
Right.
And they made it with a lower budget because they weren't as established. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels was fairly successful, so they made Snatch, which is a very, very similar movie in a lot of ways.
Right.
But he said, yeah, a lot of stuff that we weren't able to do with Lock, Stock, we were able to do with Snatch because we had momentum and we had better funding and all that kind of thing.
Gotcha. Yeah, it all makes sense now. Relevance achieved.
I know. See?
All right, thank you, Paul. So just a little bit more about the game. It features both first and third person view. I don't know if you can actually switch between them at will, or if there are certain parts of the game where you're forced into FPS and there's other parts where you're forced into third person. I'm not sure. My guess is you'd be able to switch. There's also a huge emphasis on character customization. This was fairly similar to Witcher 3, with several classes being available. Players are going to need to also buy a translator implant for their characters if they want to understand what some of the NPCs are saying in their non-English tongue.
Oh.
So it is an interstellar type of game, I would assume. Or there's a lot of different...
Gotta have a babblefish.
There's a lot of foreigners. Yeah, you need a babblefish. So that's pretty cool. Don't be surprised if this game doesn't come out till 2018.
Or maybe until 20... That's why it's called 2077. Maybe that's the launch date that they're shooting for.
Let's hope not.
Okay.
All right, moving on to Star Wars Battlefront. PC Gamer posted an article talking about if there would be any microtransactions as an integral part of the gameplay for this new upcoming, highly anticipated game.
Are there macro transactions? Is that a thing? Or is that just
that's
buying?
just buying the
is this
game.
just buying the game?
Right.
Okay.
Maybe buying the deluxe version of the game, like the collector's edition.
So no microtransactions, just one macro transaction, which I prefer.
Yeah, me too.
That's all we want.
Me too. Microtransactions make more sense if you're talking about like a free-to-play game or something like that. Yeah, they were asking Nicholas Fegraus, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, probably not, who's the design director on the game, and he said, the currency system is based on your game performance. The credits that you use to buy things in-game are earned. You play the game, complete challenges, and that's how you get credits. And so they had to press him a little bit more just to make sure, but is it the only way that you can get credits? I understand, and he kind of he said, the thing is the article phrases it so that it sounds like he said absolutely it's the only way that you can get credits is through the gameplay experience, but they don't quote him saying that. Instead, the only word they quoted was absolutely. He stated that playing the game is absolutely the only way to earn credits. But why didn't you just quote
that word?
Yeah.
The entire sentence must have been really long and convoluted and difficult to understand.
You might as well have just quoted the word the. He said the game. But, we'll see. Because previous Star Wars games have had microtransactions, like Old Republic did.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Yeah. But we'll see. Open beta starts, by the way, on Thursday.
That's good.
Sweet.
All right.
Next one. Did you already open the other one? What's the next one?
What's the next one?
Okay, this is still continuing off of Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh, was there more stuff I was supposed to switch to?
No, this is fine.
Okay.
Digital Foundry posted a video on the 5 things you should know about the game so far based on their gameplay experience with the open beta. Then it was a closed beta, but they got early access to it. And they found some interesting things. There's new physically based lighting. This is using the Frostbite engine. So same engine as Battlefield 4. What the hell?
My phone.
Turn your damn phone off.
Vibrated.
This is a professional show.
Yes. No, I'm going to check it.
It's so important right now that you have to check your damn phone. No, it's Steve.
Steve's inquiring about the Echo, which apparently is going in and out. I don't know.
The reason why Steve cares is because these are monoprice microphones, and Steve works for monoprice.
We're trying our best.
He's not just super inquisitive about everything.
Yeah, they do sound a lot better.
Yeah. But, okay, so there's really good lighting. It uses the same engine, Frostbite engine, as Battlefield Hardline and Battlefield 4, but obviously with some really nice improvements visually. The PC graphics settings are also very scalable. They say all this in the video. Go ahead and watch the video if you want more details. The maps aren't as dynamic or destructible as they are in Battlefield 4 or Hardline, which seems like kind of a step back. But again, this is the open beta where we still haven't seen the rest of the levels. You don't need a top-end PC to run it Ultra. They were using a Core i7 4790 and an R9 290X. which averaged more than 80 frames per second. Why would you put that up there?
Because Cell was asking, why is there a picture of a homeless guy in the article?
You know what? I always see his picture. Archie.
Look, it's
Archie Paris.
Archie Paras? I would say it's Paras.
Archie Paras. I mean, he writes good articles, but I think he just needs to update it. I mean, he looks like the Craigslist killer.
He does look at it.
He looks like he shouldn't be working.
Archie, update your profile picture.
We love you, Archie. Just you know technology. You can just I'm sure your smartphone takes better pictures than that. Anyway,
Let me have your
thanks for
your
that,
thing.
Cell.
Yes, thank you, Cell.
Goddamn Cell.
Thanks for being here, Cell. By the way, as well.
That's all I have to say about that game. I can't really look at him.
No,
I can't look at that picture anymore.
No,
Let's just move on to the
it's
next
off
one.
the rails. There you go.
You can all thank Sal for cutting that article short, guys. Thanks, Sal.
I'm sure there's lots more information there that we needed to hear about. Okay. Wait, are we moving on?
It's sad to say that guy actually probably looks better than me in the morning.
It's probably true.
Yeah.
Probably the hair.
My
the
hair
hair
is
is probably very similar, though.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. Okay.
This is actually done up right now. All right, so this next story is kind of ridiculous, and it's going to be long-winded.
This is the drama story. This
is the juicy one.
This is the one. This is the one where I was like, if we're talking about video games, this is something that people are going to expect us to discuss. So.
Yes, Paul pointed me in the direction of this article, and I'm glad he did because
Star Citizen versus The Escapist.
Yes. So let me just break it down for you. Let's start back about a week ago. News article, reporting website, The Escapist posted an article about Cloud Imperium Games, who is the developer for the very popular Star Citizen, #1 crowdfunded game in history, I think, of like 90 million and counting.
Yeah.
Still haven't delivered a final product yet, though. So people are starting to raise suspicions. There's also some allegations that are being made about the company's owner, Chris Roberts, I think his name is. So anyway, The Escapist posted this long-ass article where they allegedly interviewed 9 different employees of Cloud Imperium Games. I'm just going to call them CIG for short. 9 CIG employees were interviewed, according to this article. Some of them former and some of them current employees. And some of the shit that they reveal in this article is just shocking. I mean, people are saying that it was like the most toxic work environment they've ever had, been unfortunate enough to work in. One guy was like, I couldn't take it. There was profanity all the time in emails and verbally. Everything was second guessed, and the default reaction to everything was to blame and yell somebody else. And apparently Chris Roberts, the guy who is leading this whole team, hasn't made a game in 12 years. And he just refuses to listen to any of the other really experienced people in his team.
This is
all
all
his colleagues.
according to the original article.
According to the Escapist article. And it just goes on, like Robert's wife, this is true, is also the VP of Marketing or Human Resources at the company. And that part's true. But I don't know about this allegation that says she used race as a determining factor for hiring purposes. Like she wouldn't hire this girl because she was black.
That's a pretty serious allegation.
That's a serious allegation, but it hasn't been confirmed or denied either way. Well, it's been denied.
Look at that head.
It's a lot of head.
This is too much
Calm
head.
down. Off with your head. So anyway, it just goes on with all these crazy accusations. And CIG fired back with this really bold letter saying, issue a public apology for everything you said. First off, we deny everything you said. Everything. None of it's true. Issue a public apology to myself, Chris Roberts, and my wife, and admit that you were lying and that you falsely vetted these employees of mine, or we'll sue. We'll basically take legal action. In a nutshell, that's what the letter response was from CIG to The Escapist. And since then, The Escapist has fired back again saying, no, go ahead, bring it on. We're going to stick to what we said in that article. Everything we said is true. We vetted everyone properly. And we're going to continue investigating this story on you guys because we think something's up. And there's been holes on both sides here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that it's definitely on CIG's bad because some people have reported that The Escapist was using quotes from these so-called employees that were exactly like verbatim quotes found on the Glassdoor. For the Glassdoor is like basically a website for ex-employees to review their
if you
companies.
work somewhere and you leave there, you can go and review the company you used to work for.
Right.
I mean, and there's some companies that actually get good Glassdoor reviews, which I think
Right.
is it's pretty impressive if you can do that. Because
Right.
often it's just a place where ex-employees who are disgruntled for whatever reason go on there
Yeah.
and vent all of their frustrations with their work environment or their supervisor or anything like that. So you got to take some of that stuff with a grain of salt.
Right.
But I mean, if that is true that they were using that as a source for the article, that's not necessarily good journalism. So there's the journalism practices by the person who wrote the article for The Escapist originally that have been brought up as sort of the reaction or the counter to what CIG has come out and said.
The other thing that I wanted to mention that I forgot to mention of this letter, the response letter from CIG, was that they're also demanding that that The Escapist hires a third party to investigate the article that they wrote on them, to investigate how it was produced and the credibility and how the employees were vetted. So they're like demanding these things. Otherwise, they're saying we're gonna get our attorneys on board or whatever.
That's just like piling it on because you're
Yeah.
writing a letter demanding things, so you want to demand more than what you're actually expecting them to come back with.
Right.
But I mean, really, you also have two companies that are both trying to protect their image.
Right.
On both sides of it, The Escapist as a relevant and trustworthy publication about video games. CIG, of course, trying to keep their image. But I mean, the other thing that's been a fallout from this has been, of course, all of just the online hullabaloo from people on both sides of this. The people who maybe signed up for Star Citizen early on, who are really invested in the game, who have come to its defense, and the people who are, anytime there's something negative and people want to jump on board, be like, yeah, they suck, and they're,
Right.
want to point out shortcomings or that kind of thing. So this is ongoing. I'm sure there's going to be more
Yeah.
to this in the future.
Right.
I don't think. I mean, the thing about Star Citizen, I don't think there's any expectation from anyone who's like familiar with it that they're going to launch a product anytime soon. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, 2016, I think is
Pretty generous.
is even pretty generous. Probably not going to be till 2017 or
later.
that they're actually going to come out with a product.
Right.
Yes, they got crap tons of money, and yes, the people who invested in Star Citizen and dropped some money early on are going to want some some return on their investment. So
Yeah.
obviously, there's people who they have a vested interest in Star Citizen if you've already invested money in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you want it to do good. All the other stuff about internally working with a company, interpersonal relationships within a company when you're working with somebody who has a vision who you butt heads with or something like that happens. So I don't know. It's hard to draw too many conclusions from what we know so far,
Right.
because you really have a lot of kind of shots being fired on both sides.
Yeah.
But I hope that it's not true, because Star Citizen, I think, has a lot of potential there. But it does seem like that there's something going on one side or the other, and whether it's The Escapist being irresponsible, whether it's CIG actually being frivolous because they got so much money and they do have like feature bloat that's happening. We're like, oh, we want to do this, we want to do this, we want to do this.
Yeah.
That's complicating things and pushing back the launch of the game.
Right.
That's a serious consideration. So anyway,
It's pretty incredible. Like, this is a perfect example of how it can be bad to get so much crowdfunding.
yes, because you got a lot of expectations on you immediately.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you like basically the initial idea or the initial game or vision that CIG promised to the community has pretty much outgrown itself. But they also had initially promised certain launch dates. But now that those boundaries have expanded, they can no longer launch the game at the date that they promised, and a lot of people aren't going to understand that. Like, no, basically you have even more funding, so technically you can hire more people and get the damn game developed even sooner. But that's not all the time how it works. It's not necessarily how it works. So I feel for CIG. If they are guilty, if they are found to be guilty of all this crap, then I don't feel as sorry for them. But there are always two sides to every story. And I want to give a quick shout out to our good buddy Jason Evangelo for writing the article on this.
Oh, yeah.
Not the Escapist article. He didn't write that one. He wrote an article
this one that I haven't showed to
on the
anyone yet.
retaliation letter that CIG fired back, the response letter.
He's been following up a lot on this, and
Yeah.
he is a good. No, he doesn't call him. I was reading some of his response. He doesn't call himself a journalist. He said.
Oh, okay.
He's like a reviewer or whatever. I don't know. I mean,
He's
I think
a man of many talents.
well, he's trying to uphold sort of this perception of somebody who's a journalist as somebody who like does all goes through the work process that's involved with journalism, which is to like check sources and investigate things and like bring information to light that wouldn't have otherwise been there.
Right.
And ideally to do it on the part of the people.
Sure.
To help them or to reveal things that are hurting them or
yeah.
Anyway. Okay.
Well, there's that.
There's that.
So keep an eye on that one, folks. Let's move on to my next segment, which is a new one.
Brand new segment from Kyle.
Brand new segment. It's called
a shot or a shot.
No, that's not what that
No?
is.
Oh.
No, I am not taking any
That
more
was
shots
that
for a
was
while.
suggested. If we were doing that, I think the only thing I have here is like
Something
sour
horrible.
apple vodka
Oh!
or something like that.
Oh
I
no!
don't even know.
Oh,
I don't even know.
I got a gag reflex
Or
just
there's,
thinking about
or there's
that.
like Applejack. I
See,
think we have some
don't
Applejack.
mix anything sweet with your liquor. I'm sorry. I mean, if it's
I
like
bought it.
if it's a mixer, that's fine. But don't actually infuse your liquor with
bought it-
anything sweet, like apple or honey. They're just horrible, horrible ideas.
Okay.
They're just to get that chick at the club, white girl wasted. That's the only reason those things exist.
Yep.
And we'll get pretty white girl wasted.
I
off
got
that
it
stuff
to make
too.
apple pies with, based on an Alton Brown recipe, and the unavailability of Applejack.
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
More backstory than was necessary there, but
Thank you.
Kyle's new segment is actually called
LOL. Oh my God. What the f?
you have to see now. You have to say that every time now. You've established that as a name, so you have to say
LOL.
you-
Oh my God. What the fuck? That has a better ring to it though. You have to admit.
Which ones are acronyms and which ones are you going to say the words out? That's what LOLMG WTF. Those are all letters.
GWTF.
Or laugh out loud. Oh my God! What the fuck?
Laugh out loud. Oh my God. What the fuck? Let's go with that.
Okay.
All right. I like making things longer.
It's Kyle's specialty.
All right. So
How does this new segment
this segment
work, Kyle?
works very simply. I have 3 basic articles or videos or things I want to show you, and each one of those things pertains to either a lol, an OMG, or a what the fuck. Simple, right?
Yeah, so
I got a little bit of inspiration from like BuzzFeed,
means-
how they have their
that
ratings
means
on their
funny
articles.
or like surprising,
Surprising
like,
or cool.
or
or
like what the hell, like
is that?
piss you off, stupid.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. So
Or disturbing
are
or
we
whatever.
doing them in that order?
Yes.
Okay,
So for lol,
here we go.
for our lol or laugh out loud,
I think-
Minecraft gamer. There's a video that I found online of this gamer who basically sets his house on fire during a live stream of Minecraft.
Edsel linked this one to me,
Oh, did he?
or that's how I found it.
Why didn't
he's
you link
playing
me,
Minecraft.
Edsel? The hell's up with that?
He's a smoker. See,
Yeah,
he
so that's
has-
basically what he did during his stream. He took a break from playing Minecraft because he'd been playing for so long
Yeah.
for a smoke break. Which okay, fine, good enough. It's his house. He can smoke indoors if you want.
What the
Sure.
hell is he doing?
He's a 40-year-old gamer, by the way, who lives with his parents, who are like 60 and 70 years old. He's on the 2nd story right now. He's not, surprisingly, not in a basement. So he's showing off his new oil lighter to light this cigarette, and he kind of fails until he finally strikes a light. And I think at about 2 minutes and
I think I'm where.
4 minutes and right here. So you'll see his lighter just goes. It gets engulfed in flames.
Whoa.
He drops it.
A little too much oil there.
And he tosses the striker right there in a big pile of tissue or paper. And you can see right here, this is great.
Over on the left side here.
Now a fire starts to brew. Right behind him, he has no idea that it's on fire, but it's just everything's being engulfed in flames. I love this. He even almost sits on it. And he's like, why is my ass so hot?
Okay.
And all right, get the few drops of water out of the bottle. Maybe that'll help it. And he brings it all over to a big bunch of wood cabinets.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll put this
That's
fire
a good
right
thing.
next to these wooden cabinets. That should do it. And then,
Where's the cardboard box? Oh yeah, he tries to put it out, smothers it with a cardboard box,
it's always
which
advised.
is always the first step
right.
in
To putting
any
out
any fire safety lesson. You go, all right, kids, you got the fire. You want to get as much cardboard as you can,
Right.
and don't smother it with the cardboard. You want to set it loosely on top.
Right. And then at this point,
What?
you think he's going to the kitchen to maybe grab some gallons of milk or some gallons of water or something to put it out. And this fire is just raging at this point. I mean,
It gets bigger while he's away. He's like, maybe if I leave the room, it'll go away.
I was so happy when I realized that this article wasn't about his Minecraft house, but it was his real house. Because there's so many videos of that.
Oh look, there's
Look, the smallest bowl of water. Like, I eat cereal out of a bowl bigger than that. And then you can see his cabinet's completely wrecked at this point. This whole situation is just wrecked.
Yeah. Now he did. Here's where he has a chance. Here, he's got
Right.
something larger. He's got like a comforter
Mattress,
or a
yeah.
big pillow or
Yeah,
something. All he has to do here, for anyone who's dealing with the fire, is
Smother
lay
it.
it on top and smother
Yep,
it.
yep.
But he's pounding it over and over again,
Which actually...
feeding more oxygen to the fire,
Yeah.
which is going to make it bigger and not smaller. If like he could have ended it here, well, he could have ended it multiple times.
Yeah.
But this goes on and on.
Clearly not a Boy Scout.
Yeah, but fire safety is important. There were some rumors or some comments going on saying that like this actually burned down his whole apartment complex and that people died, but that wasn't true. That was another fire that happened at roughly the same time. So
Right.
there was some loss of property here, but no loss of life, as far as I know. So
That's good.
yeah, but he got. I think this video has like 5 million views or something, or it did yesterday. It probably has
Wow.
like twice as many now.
And it just went up not too long ago.
And he just leaves the room. He has a roommate too.
Who's helping him?
It's like worst roommate ever.
Yeah.
Who, like doesn't mention. By the way, hey, I smell smoke. That's my Minecraft fire.
You really got to cut out that smoking habit,
And
man.
the fire just gets bigger and bigger,
And then you can't see anything by the end of the
eventually
video.
Yeah, and then you can. Yeah, and then it's just basically hell after that. So
Right.
LOL.
At what point do you think he was like,
I-
maybe I should stop streaming this? Probably right at that
Well,
point.
fortunately, he forgot about the stream. I mean, if he had been, oh, let me end the stream, like he's not thinking about the right thing.
Or like if he
there.
was more concerned about like tending to chat.
He
Don't worry,
yeah.
guys.
Don't
Every
worry,
time he'd
guys.
come back, he'd like
I'm gonna
look
get
at the,
some water.
Every time he'd run by the
I
computer,
better
he'd like
hurry.
look.
I better hurry. The fire's getting bigger.
LOL, OMG,
No.
what do I do?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so that was my LOL.
Okay.
Let's move on to my OMG, which is I could have thrown this in with the games report, but I felt it was something a little bit more special. Mario Kart. Basically, a fan has created Mario Kart, at least a player, a racer, and a race course using the amazing Unreal Engine 4, and it looks pretty sweet.
But
Play the video.
Let me hit play.
Just play the damn video.
Trying.
I should give credit to the guy. His name is CryZenX. So he made Mario Kart with Unreal Engine 4.
That's pretty impressive.
And it looks nice. Like, I've never seen such good lighting effects in Mario
That's amazing.
Kart. So
Can
I
you
really
s-
hope...
Can you still do the hop thing and get the Z's to come out?
I didn't see him doing any drifting, so
Okay.
I don't think that's been implemented. But he has done multiplayer. Later in the video, he shows off some multiplayer. Granted, he's the only person there, so he can't control them simultaneously, but he does show, like, multiple Marios on the course
Oh.
running through. You get to see his workflow a little bit if you
Wow.
know what program he's using, which I have no idea. But,
MK Game Preview Client.
oh yeah, that one.
It looks like Unreal software. It has the Unreal logo in the top left.
Okay, I was wondering if it was like a third party or something like that.
Must
But
be like from their dev kit or something.
yeah, but I thought that was pretty cool. By the way, the PC he's using is a 4790K GTX 980 Ti and 32 gigs of RAM. Granted, I don't think that's what it's going to take to run something like this.
Oh yeah,
But you know what?
that's what he's using.
Maybe
So there's a multiplayer.
perhaps in a few years, Paul,
Multiple Marios.
we'll start hearing people saying, "Can it run Mario Kart?"
But can it run Mario Kart? Mario Kart 128 when that launches?
128, yeah.
I mean, we gotta
Or Mario
we
Kart
gotta
9.
follow up
You never
64
know.
or something.
That's right.
Okay.
So cool.
Oh.
And then the next piece of this segment is the what the fuck. What
That's this
the
one.
actual? No, it's not what the actual. It's just what the fuck.
What the actual?
Many of you guys may have heard of the People app, which is currently in the works. Some people thought it was a hoax, but it's actually might be happening. It's essentially an app for rating people,
Oh, good.
or Yelp for humans, as a lot of people are saying on the internet.
It says join the positive revolution.
Right.
Because that's what people would use that for.
And I don't think it said that before this whole thing went viral. They're trying to flip it. These two ladies, middle-aged women who probably don't have much else to do, are trying to flip it into a positive thing. But essentially, let me explain this to you. It's a 1 to 5 star rating system that you can rate anyone that you know personally based on their personal, professional, or romantic characteristics or qualities. And it's all subjective. It's just like, Paul's an asshole. 1 star, has a goatee, glasses
It's not a goatee.
that aren't his, or not a goatee, flavor saver, soul
I
patch,
get that right.
and incredibly dumb. He's just below average intelligence. I could just do that, and I could give you a 1-star rating, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't remove your negative comments.
My goal would be all 1 or 2 star ratings on an app like that.
Right? I think that's the center, the core issue of this app is that there's going to be so much cyberbullying and false reviews, or like let's say you have an ex-girlfriend.
Where's your coaster?
It's my hand.
Why'd you move your coaster?
Because I meant
tabletops.
No, because there was limited space, so I was just going to keep it on my mouse pad.
Oh, okay.
But I drink it often, so
These are brand new countertops.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle's trying to get.
They're actually countertops.
Water damage.
Fun fact. I'll use my
Yeah.
hand. So I could see how this could go wrong really fast. There was a 21-year-old minimum age limit to use the app, but
good.
Who's to prevent a 6-year-old from...
Just like age gates on the internet only allow 21-year-olds or 18-year-olds through.
I never watched any mature game trailers on the internet until I was 17.
Our channel is flagged for mature content. I'm sure there's no one under the age of 17 watching right now.
Of course not.
That would be impossible.
Because they're all honest.
It's age gated.
Yes. So...
Age gate.
Again,
scandal.
The developers claim that this is a positivity app to help people. I don't know how the hell they're... it doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so this is like their argument of why it's not so bad. Is because you have to connect your account, your people account. By the way, it's people with 2 E's. You have to connect your people account with your Facebook account and your real name.
Oh, okay.
Because, Facebook, it has to be your real name. That's a lie.
No one's been on Facebook.
You can create a Facebook account that has a completely fictitious name. It doesn't have to be your real name. That's BS. So it could be anonymous still. And you could still give hate reviews or whatever if you wanted to. So here's another thing. If someone wants to post a review about you, they have to give the site, people, your phone number so that you get notified with a text. So I can't write a bad review of you without you knowing about it.
Ooh.
So maybe that... I don't know. Maybe people are less inclined to write a bad review if they have to, notify the person about it. But it's still a horrible idea, I think. There's a petition going around called the Care2 petition, which is trying to keep the app from being made. They have about 10,000 signatures so far. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this.
Something like this doesn't matter unless it gets big enough to matter. And I feel like, I don't know, rating stuff like a business or a product or something like that kind of makes sense. And I think people are into that and they want to see that.
Yeah.
This kind of rubs me the wrong way. I feel like it would rub a lot of people the wrong way. Yeah. And yeah, I think because of that, it would be hard for it to get big enough to be relevant. If I get an email that's like, your people rating is 2.1, you should log in and respond to some of this crap, I'd be like, I don't care what people do that. And if somebody came up to me and was like, man, your people rating is 2.1, I'd be like, why do you know that? And I think nothing of you now because of you knowing that from the get-go. So that's kind of where I would come from with it.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Just because certain allegations about you aren't true doesn't mean they don't matter. And if people are spreading false lies, deep down I know that they're full of shit, but other people don't. And it still makes you look a certain way, whether it's true or not. So, I don't know.
I also want to point out that I rub Cell the right way.
Well, of course. Of course. I've been there to witness it.
On a regular basis.
We both rub them the right way, sometimes at the same time.
Alright, we're getting off topic here.
Anyway, that's my WTF segment for this.
Yay, new segment. We're halfway through your show.
We are.
You're half of the show.
Oh my god, we are. Holy crap.
We're
good.
50 minutes? No, I don't know. I don't know what time it is.
It's okay. My new segment is pretty short.
It's not time for your new segment.
No, I know.
Wait, you already did your new segment.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, that was Games Report. I did Games Report.
Are you losing track of what we just talked about, Kyle?
My news segment?
What did we just talk about? We just did your new segment.
Oh, new. I was saying news.
You're like, I thought we did news already.
Yeah.
No, your news segment.
Oh, yes, we already did that. I was saying my news.
Oh, wow.
My news segment.
I was like, man, you must be drinking quickly or something, because you're like... It's like, do you really forget the last 10 minutes?
3 seconds
of
ago.
What just happened?
You just ended it. Oh god.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
We're back in business. Awesome Hardware has returned.
But we're doing this right now, though,
We're
right?
as on point as we ever have. Yes,
It's
we
time
are.
for this.
Yes.
Okay.
You're right. Sponsor spot.
Sponsor spot.
Let's talk
Yay.
about sponsors. Jesus Christmas.
Sponsor spots only on Kyle's half of the show for this episode. What are you doing?
I'm gonna.
Are you gonna prop it up?
Maybe. Isn't that
Is
what
that
it's
gonna-
for?
I mean, yeah, it can work that way.
Yeah, I want like real
Okay.
FaceTime with
Kyle's
my audience.
FaceTiming.
All right.
You're gonna have to keep an eye over here to see what people.
Today's
are
sponsor
is Gigabyte.
is Gigabyte.
Thank you, Gigabyte,
Is-
Gigabyte for sponsoring our live show.
Is anyone surprised still that Gigabyte's our sponsor?
They've been our sponsor.
They have been.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
So what are we doing with the bricks? We've shown people the bricks. Are you guys familiar with the bricks?
Yes, you guys are
Tiny
familiar with
computer.
the bricks. It's a small computer. It's upgradable. It's a DIY type of thing. It already comes with the CPU, as well as the board as well. Obviously, power source. You can install your own RAM as well as your own MSATA SSD. Pretty sweet stuff. They do have them for gaming as well. Some of them have
Yes, they
discrete GPUs in there. So yeah, let's go ahead. I'm just gonna take it out of the box. I'm not gonna really like crack it open. We did that on last week's episode, but I am gonna do something in dedication or in honor.
People are seeing now.
Oh yeah, I like
It
it.
looks awesome.
I like it. Wait, hold on. Go down just a little bit.
You need to fix the white balance here. Give you a little bit more color.
This is such a flattering angle.
The focus.
All right. How's it going, guys? Oh, this is fun. This is fun. I've never had a huge close-up like this. This is like full spread. Full page spread on Awesome Hardware. All right, sweet. So,
Oh, it's on autofocus. That's why.
okay. So, a couple weeks back, we had another sponsor. Well, it was Gigabyte who was sponsoring us, but it was a motherboard. And I did a motherboard wrap.
Yes, you did.
So, I wanted to do a motherboard. I've been wanting to do another wrap since then because people really liked it. The problem is that when I did it live, there's a lag between my voice and the beat, the hip hop beat in the background that we played through Windows Audio.
Yes.
So I'm still trying to find a way to work around that. We have to mess around with the audio delay settings maybe, or it's something that I just play, here like from a speaker or whatever into my mic. So for the time being, I'm not going to rap, but I did write a beautiful haiku poem about the Gigabyte bricks. For those of you who don't know, a haiku is a Japanese poem that consists of 3 stanzas, and each stanza has 3 lines. And the first line has to be 5 syllables, the second one has to be 7, and then the third one 5 syllables again. So they're usually about nature, but in this case, I'm going to be talking about a computer.
It's a natural thing.
Supernatural. Not man-made at all.
Okay.
So this is my haiku on the Gigabyte bricks. And after I'm done, you have to snap like they do in those poetry clubs.
Oh yeah.
You know what I
Instead
mean?
of clapping.
Yeah.
Like hipster
Right.
clapping,
Yeah.
snapping.
You gotta do hipster snapping.
Okay.
All right, so here's my haiku. Little computer fits inside your hand. Such portable. Handles simple tasks. Runs video games with ease. At the right settings. Better than a Nook. Power cable included. Bang bang. Shots fired.
That's,
Did you get any snap? Did you get a little snap? All right.
Try-
So there you guys go.
Why
Go ahead
is
and check
this-
it out.
oh, that's
If you're
what
looking for a really small form factor PC and you want to do some upgrades to it, it does have a VESA mount. You can mount at the back of your monitor or on the wall or something like that. Very versatile little device.
That was
There you
actually 3 haikus.
No, it's supposed to be 3.
That was haiku
I think
3. instead
Oh
of
no,
3.
you're right. That was 3. I guess that was 3. It was a mega haiku.
Yeah.
That's what they call it in Japan.
It's
A
like
mega,
a triple haiku.
a Godzilla haiku.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Great job,
Yeah.
Kyle. Thanks Gigabyte for sponsoring our show.
Yes, thank you.
All right. What's up next?
Next up, we've got
I think it's time.
news. Oh, Pimp My
it's time for
PC. It's Pimp My PC.
Pimp My PC.
I got this.
You skip this, people will go crazy, Kyle.
I know.
Nobody left.
Someone's saying I have a booger close up. What?
No, I was gonna.
Touch it.
I
They're
don't.
lying.
I think they were messing with you.
You screwed you.
Trolling.
Trolling.
Trolling time.
All right, so it's Pimp My PC. This is the blatant ripoff segment that we've stolen from Matt Philly from Swashin' TV with his awesome show Pimp My Setup. And I was like, hey Matt, I'm gonna steal your. I was like, hey Matt, let me vomit on you.
Right on your lap.
And he agreed. So a moment later, I vomited on him and stole the idea of his show.
He's very open-minded.
Swashin' TV is his channel on YouTube. Go ahead and check it out. Pimp My Setup. Paul and I have both been featured on it, as well as Linus and some other big tech tubers.
Oh, look at that.
But this is basically the PC version of that.
This beer
Super original.
This beer has the most amazing head.
Why do you keep doing that?
Because it's fascinating to look at. It's like a root beer float or something. Anyway.
But don't you get disappointed then when it's not? No,
I mean,
because
it's good.
beer.
You want the beer to have head. I mean, that's more than you want. But yeah, okay. Sorry.
Paul loves
what
his
are we?
head.
We're starting off with the Hunter.
Hunter.
Hey, Hunter.
Thanks, Hunter, for sending this
Or
in.
Hamburger Hinderer, which is a pretty funny.
Hamburger Hinderer.
just,
Nice.
just.
It should have been Hamburger Hunter.
I like Hinderer.
Hinderer's good.
Because those hamburgers are trying to move forward, and
They're getting hindered.
he's just preventing them. He's just a pain in their ass. Okay.
Game of chess.
Wow, it's a Thermal Take level 10.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, right? I haven't seen one of those in a while.
I didn't know people used these.
Right.
It's a cool case. They were just crazy overpriced.
Yes, they were.
All right.
Cool design.
Hunter, your computer's on the ground. Get it off the ground.
Right.
All right.
I agree.
That aside, looks like there's a fair amount of dust inside due to it being on the ground.
Yes.
What is this? Is it supposed to have a fan that big right there? It's been so long since I worked with the level 10. This is like
No.
a big old 200 millimeter.
That looks like a Bit Phoenix fan or
Did
something.
he custom drop that in there or something?
Or maybe not a Bit Phoenix fan, but
Yeah. So the level 10 has separate housing. So this chamber here. Oh no, this isn't the level 10. This is the level 10 like GT.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I was confused then. That's not a real level 10.
Right.
The real level 10. Real level 10 was a cool case. It was like $500 or $700 or something like that.
Yeah.
This one was more reasonable.
Okay.
Okay, but yeah, it's got two separate compartments. The front area here is where all the drives go. So I'm kind of curious what the drive configuration might be in here.
Right.
But 32 gigs of Ripjaws memory. What can be done here to make things better?
Jeez. Honestly,
it's a 980 Ti G1. I mean, this is hardware-wise, as far as specs.
it's very powerful.
It's a nice system.
Maybe
All right, you got
the RAM.
Yeah. You also look like you have some blue in there, but it looks like different shades of blue. I mean, it looks like an MSI motherboard with different colors of blue on it. It also might be the flash.
Yeah.
But the power supply kind of matches. But then there's this red here. This is a sticker. Take that sticker off, Hunter.
Take it off.
I know this is a sticker.
Yeah.
That comes on there.
Right.
Take that
Probably
off
says
there.
OS on it or something like
Yeah.
that.
We do have what looks like some cable. Are these extensions, or are these just what come with the HX?
Those are extensions.
These are some extensions. You got those for the graphics card, but not for the 24 pin. Definitely get that for the 24 pin.
Right.
Maybe consider changing out that memory or plasti dipping it or something like that.
Right.
To make it blend in a little bit more.
And Cell actually brought up a good point. He said that 200 millimeter fan at the front is actually sucking air or blowing air out.
You're right, it is.
As opposed to sucking air in. So it looks like you might have some negative air pressure in here.
Well, there's a big old fan directly on the side, right there.
Okay.
So there is a big old intake right there. So
But
it's
he's
not
got-
necessarily like you've got. Yeah, you might be setting up negative pressure. You're also pushing that air this way forward, and I don't know what's there. I don't
Hard
know.
drives, I think.
There's
no, those are-
these
those are
slots
down
down
there.
at the bottom are the drives, and I forget what's up here. I
Optical?
think there's an optical area, but yeah. Also, for some reason I thought it was white and blue on the outside, but there's green. This is a green LED on this fan.
Right. I think that's also kind of mismatched.
Yeah. So Hunter, you've got a lot of different LED colors and different colors going on with this system.
He's got RGB LEDs.
You've got red, green, and blue and white. You've
Right.
got multiple colors going on. Again, your system overall, by the specs, and you've overclocked it to 4.76 gigahertz. Great on a 4770K, by the way.
Yeah.
You have a good processor there.
Yeah.
So yeah, either I'd say kind of do a ground up reimagining of this and go with a more dedicated color scheme.
Yeah.
Or just be like, hey, I've got a system that works great. I don't care what it
Yeah,
looks like.
right.
But dude, really, for real though, get it off the ground.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that'll keep you from having.
You can tell it's pretty dusty too. So.
Yeah, that'll keep you from having to re-dust it too often. All right,
Next up?
is Central Core.
Central Core, Josh.
Just as Josh, and Central Core is the name of the computer.
And look at that sexy
loves
shirt.
it.
I just want to point out that this guy has good taste in
It's a
clothing.
very nice shirt.
I will say.
Nice khakis
that's
there
my
too.
shirt. That's my shirt.
Okay. Leon Lee chassis.
Yes, it is. I've never built in this case before. The name of it, the actual model number escapes me. But it does look like it's got kind of like a half XB vibe going on, like the Cooler Master case.
Cube computer.
Test bench computer, yeah, is very cubish. The motherboard lays flat, parallel to the ground, and
Some micro ATX.
micro ATX. It looks like it's got he's done a pretty good job, I think, with cable management in this case so far.
Yeah.
Looks pretty decent. I don't see cables like flopping over the motherboard or crossing over things that they shouldn't be.
These
Could be tidied up on the
these,
PCIe.
Yeah, the peg connectors there could be cleaned up a bit.
Right.
I think.
I would just solve that by zip tying them with like a black zip tie,
Yeah.
grouping them together, making it look more like one constant stream. I really love.
I like this set of photos that he sent in.
Yeah,
We
they're all well lit.
We have good shots of the computer.
Yeah.
And then we also got Josh in there too, being like, "What's up, man?"
I know. That should be a requirement now from now on. You have
Yeah,
to
you gotta show yourself.
picture of yourself, thumbs up, or doing something.
He's got this bottom area where he's got a lot of the cables stashed away. That's what you should do.
Yes.
Okay. So, and again, did he kiss it? Is that the same picture, or did he kiss it more? Multiple times? No,
he kissed it twice. He's so nice. He kissed it twice.
Two kiss photos going on in here. All right.
Much PC love.
So what advice can we give? I mean, honestly, color scheme wise, it looks pretty nice. Your Corsair power supply has all black cables, which looks pretty nice. Your layout and configuration of everything is pretty good. From this angle, you can see, like, yeah, I mean, it's always a question. Like, if you have a little area that's tucked away, completely invisible, you're never going to see it unless you take the side panel off.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Nice.
Should you bundle up the cables there?
Right.
If airflow is a concern, then maybe yeah. And, you know, there's a little bit of tidying that could be done here. So maybe, yeah, a little bit of that, a little bit maybe on those peg connectors. But other than that, Josh, I think you have a very nice system.
Yeah.
And, I like the love you're showing for that system there, too.
Absolutely.
The case, by the way, if anyone was wondering, is the PCV359. It's a 5820K processor and GTX 980 DCU2 from Asus. Corsair Vengeance 16 gig memory kit. Corsair ARM 750 power supply, an H100i cooler. 1 terabyte Evo, nice SSD, as well as a 3 terabyte WD Black. Very nice system.
Yeah, awesome.
Right.
Thanks for that, Josh. Next up, we've got Anti, or I think it's Anti Miller. I'm not sure. Sorry if I'm butchering your name, guys.
Okay.
But he's got an Asus Z97 Pro on the board. Let me see the specs really quick. Okay, he's got a 4690K and a GTX 660, 16 gigs of RAM, 5 hard drives, and a Cosmos 1000. Damn.
Wow, old school case.
Yeah.
When this case launched, this was like the best case ever to have existed in the history of cases. Now, it's
showing some signs of age.
Signs of age.
The cable
Still,
routing.
yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's probably for really large, like EATX motherboards and stuff, dual processor motherboards and things like that. It's massive.
Yeah.
But you can just tell there's not really like any good like radiator support for AIOs and things like that.
Yep. Even the spacing on these top fans wouldn't support it. You'd be stuck with the 120. You've got these hot swap bays down here, which were kind of fun at the time. All right, so
cables.
Yeah, I mean, there's a fair amount of cable management that can be done here, just as far as tying some stuff up, getting some loose ends taken care of. You've got a 5-drive configuration, and you've got lots of SATA cables going across here. I mean, you got red, black, silver going on. That's okay. I'd say maybe the power supply is what stands out to me as an upgrade. Power supply and graphics card actually here, because a GTX 660 is going to be showing a little bit of signs of age. Also, that power supply, good power supply, but 520 watts. If you're considering an upgrade path, the power supply and the graphics card since you already have a 4690K,
Mm-hmm.
could get you a pretty nice jump in gaming performance. And if you swap the power supply, you'd also be getting rid of the yellow and maybe find something with a little bit better cables to make things blend in a bit more there. But yeah, I mean, I'd be interested to see this case with this build with like black SATA cables, which you could swap out without too much difficulty. Getting rid of some of the colors they're showing on. You got Noctua fans going on here too. So this to me is a system that he's had for a long time.
Yeah.
There've probably been 2 or 3 builds in this case at least.
Right.
And he's been upgrading it over time. That's also how you get 5 drives.
Yeah.
With that, it's like,
True.
you know. So yeah, I'd be interested to see this with the cables tied down, a different power supply, swap out those red SATA cables, even leave the fans. I don't care about the fans.
Yeah.
But it might look a little bit better. Also, I don't think this case has a side window. Does it? The Cosmos 1000?
I'm not
positive. I'd have to look back. But anyway, nice build there, Auntie. Thank you for sending it to us.
I would almost
Any
consider...
feedback,
my feedback would be... I've seen a lot of other mid-towers lately. Just in recent years, mid-towers have gotten a lot more support for things like hard drives. You can fit 5 hard drives pretty easily in almost any mid-tower case. That's probably a fraction of the size as this behemoth. So if you wanted to save some desk space and also still get some good airflow and connectivity support for your hard drives and everything else, you might want to consider scaling down to a more reasonably sized ATX tower that still gets the job done. You might not have to, because even if you get extensions for those cables, like sleeved cable extensions, you still have to route them all the way across the silver backing of that motherboard tray, which still stands out quite a bit.
It does, but I feel like if the cables being there, the cables have to be there. If you see that they've been bunched up and routed very carefully, I think even them going across and being visible. But yeah, it's a matter of opinion.
Yeah.
The Cosmos 1000, by the way, does not have a windowed side panel unless he customized it somehow.
Right.
1,093 ratings on Newegg, 5 out of 5 eggs overall. This was an insanely popular case. The last review, wow! There's a review of this case
yesterday or
in
last
2015
month.
From last month, 2 months ago. 8/28. There is a review of this case. I am amazed.
And the one before that's 2015 as well, January.
That's pretty impressive. But then it goes to 2014 and then 2013 and then 2012 and then 2011.
Wow.
So yeah, I think 2011's probably when this case was actually towards the end of its life cycle.
Right.
But yeah. Anyway, okay.
Cool. Thanks for sending that in, Auntie. Because I call my aunt Shirley Auntie, so it feels like my aunt builds computers.
We got
Ross.
Q6600, old school.
Yeah.
Q6600 with an all-in-one liquid cooler on it.
Right? I mean, I guess you could overclock it.
No, you can.
Oh, you can.
I mean, a Q6600 was.
It's unlocked quad core,
actually,
right?
This would be a good Scottish shortbread. Why is
what?
There's Scottish shortbread petticoat tails up there, right here.
Oh.
I don't. Just pointing that out. Anyway, so this would be possibly one of the more interesting scenarios of somebody upgrading to a CPU cooler that might have gotten them significantly better performance, especially if they're going from a stock cooler on a Q6600 before.
Right.
You might have been able to get a significantly better overclock on that. So, Ross, that would be my question for you: is when you dropped that all-in-one on here, which I think is it's a Corsair. It's at least a Corsair fan. How much better performance you got? He also has a fan
right on the video card
right here, which has been mounted up directly on the video card, and whatever this expansion card below that is. There's also an LED block down here connected to some LEDs that he's got going on. This is the only picture, right?
Yeah.
GeForce 210 GPU. So this is definitely a budget build. But yeah. What can be done here?
Honestly, I would save up some money and get those the three big main components that will really upgrade your system overall, which is your motherboard, your CPU, and your video card. So I guess 4 because you need RAM to go along with that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to reuse that because it's DDR2. But I mean, we're already moving into DDR4, and while that isn't really a requirement to do most things by any means these days. DDR2 is, you're still kind of, it's almost gone the way of the dinosaur. And while that was a fairly good CPU for its time, I mean, that along with the GeForce 210 isn't probably going to get you too much mileage unless you're cranking down your settings to, like, you know, you're playing at 720 type of thing in terms of like AAA games these days. But I don't know. I would save up for a new CPU. Maybe go. I don't think you need to go Skylake, but see if there's any good deals on Haswell.
Oh, go Skylake. I mean, unless you're getting a really good deal on Haswell.
Yeah.
It's a cooler. Parts. People in chat are pointing out that it's a Cooler Master, and that does look like a Cooler Master logo. I don't know how people in chat saw that that's a Cooler Master logo because it looks.
Oh, I can see it now.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it, knowing that, but it looks like a jumbled mess of pixels to me.
Right.
Anyway, okay.
Some old hardware.
All right, we got a couple more here.
Yep. Next
this
one.
The system is called the Harlequin.
Yeah, the Harlequin.
Harlequin.
How do you?
Harlequin.
Harlequin.
It's a Q, not a K. And this is from this
Harley Quinn.
Machimo the Trumpeteer.
I guess he plays trumpet.
Okay. Orange and black. Hey.
Mm-hmm. Halloween build.
That's cool.
Halloween's coming up.
G3258 at 4.2 gigahertz. H80i. Oh, I'm conflicted. We'll come back to that. SP20, SP120 Quiet Fans. Z97X85 HBK motherboard. G1 Gaming R9 380 4GB graphics card. EVGA Nex 650 power supply. Couple more Cougar fans, an Asus DVD burner. 1TB and 2TB WD drives, and a 120GB 840 Evo.
I love me some Cougars.
Yeah. Okay. His hidden shame. Thank you for the I like the comments on this. So there's the cable management. Yeah, cable management in the back. Not looking too great. Could definitely be tidied up a lot. The side shot with the blue. I built my wife's system that is, granted, not as orange as this, but with a blue LED inside.
Yeah.
And I don't know. This kind of matches.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
It kind of works. You can do the orange and the blue.
And you can't change that blue, can you? Right? On that card, I think it's just that's gigabytes.
Yeah, not as far as I know.
Locked in color.
You have to go with the really high end 980 Ti has the RGB one on it. Yeah. Okay, so here's where I'm really conflicted. This H80i cooler that you have going on right here costs $70.
He did mention that he got it for 60% off.
Percent off?
I think that's what he said.
Has he pointed this out in chat already?
Yeah.
All right. If you got a really good deal on it, then cool.
Yeah, 66% off. That's why.
66% off. Right.
Okay.
Then that's okay.
I'll sick Paul off of you for now.
Well, I mean, here's this is what I said with the G3258.
Right.
Inexpensive processor, but people who are taking a G3258 and dropping another $80 to $100 on a cooler for it, you're wasting so much money on what you could be doing with added performance by buying a processor that costs $150 instead of one that costs $70.
Yeah.
And using the stock cooler on it, and you know what? Anyway, but okay, decent excuse there.
Fair enough.
So we'll let that one slide.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, again, we got some your typical cable management woes here. These could be pulled back behind, tucked away, loose ones that are coming out. I mean, you're not looking terrible as far as your color scheme goes.
Yeah. Maybe there's a way to turn the LED off? You can just unplug.
Yeah.
I would turn the LED off.
LED off on the WindForce.
Yeah.
Unless he really likes it.
No. Even if he likes it.
Doesn't matter if he likes it.
Even if he likes it, just listen to me.
Turn it off. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Just turn the light off and get some orange like LEDs. Like Bitphoenix has some orange ones, I think. They're Alchemy 2.0, the ones with magnetic strips, because that's a magnetic case, or that's a steel case.
They do orange?
I think so.
I thought orange was the one they stopped.
Oh, then you might have to get their Alchemy 1.0.
Yeah.
Which are adhesive, but still you can mount that any way you want. Get some orange LEDs in there, because I think that card will look nicer with the whole color scheme if it's got orange accent lighting on it, as opposed to blue internal light that's built in. My opinion.
I agree.
Which is fact.
Nice little build, though.
Yes. Thank you.
Spachimo.
Thank you, sir.
All right, one more from Philip Zacek.
Now,
all right.
Now, if you go to his Imgur.
You got an Imager. Taking its sweet time to load. Alright,
This is a
well,
really
let's-
clean build. I
let's
didn't
go.
really have much to critique about it, although there is some
Yep, it loaded.
bunching up with his PCIe cables up there.
Up here.
Yeah, enlarge that. So it looks like the PCIe cables could route through the grommet closest to it, as opposed to the
This
one
one?
above, like where your 24 pin
Maybe
is.
he was using my old suggestion, which is to go up with the PCIe cables to prevent the sag.
You
on
have
the
one of
video
those
card.
MSI cards, don't you? How's the sag on it?
I haven't used one long enough to like see if
Okay.
it sags more over time or whatever. I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Depends on the case too. But,
So I guess if you're doing it functionally, then that makes sense. But otherwise, really clean build. And look at that cable
look
management.
at that.
That is sexlicious.
I have to assume that this Photoshop with the components here is blocking some of the really hideous cables.
Oh yes, clearly.
That's probably where that is.
You can totally tell.
No, that's some
All the sides.
like guys. This is cable management right
That's how
there.
it's done.
This is it's all tied up.
I don't think I've seen cable management this good since Sal sent in a picture of his system.
We've got look at the threading here of this fan cable.
Yeah, that is
To get it
meticulous.
down there. I like this.
My pants aren't even stitched that well.
That's true.
Beautiful.
Very clean, very open. Keeps plenty of airflow. There's a look at the night shot with the LEDs lit up.
I mean, I'm curious as to why he didn't just get a red MSI card. Why he went with the green one.
That is true.
Maybe he got it on a cheap discount, or a friend got it from a friend.
Yeah. I will say MSI has an app again that will let you go in and turn the LED off. You don't even need to go in there and unplug anything. The app just lets you do it. But maybe you're into the green and red. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a little Christmassy to me.
Yeah.
That's always what you get with the green and red, but
Better than ketchup and mustard.
very nice build and definitely some of the best cable management I think
We've seen on the show so far.
especially on the back area right here.
Mhm.
Okay,
That's it.
Thank you, Philip.
Thanks, man. That's going to conclude this segment of Pimp My PC. Now we're going to move on to tech news.
Indubitably.
I only have two little itty-bitty stories here for tech news because we're already short on time.
Indeed.
First one being Amazon shutting out their rival media streaming service hardware on their site. So
Oh, good.
you guys are familiar with like the Fire TV?
I hate choice.
Yeah, choice sucks. Destroy it. Amazon is no longer going to be selling devices like Apple TV or Google Chromecast or other really big competitors that directly compete with their Fire TV stick thing. And they're saying that those products don't interact well with Amazon Prime Video, and that's why they're discontinuing. However, other like lesser known brands and even smaller ones, or not smaller ones, but companies that have been verified to work well with Amazon Prime Video are being allowed to continue being sold on the website, such as Roku. Roku is they're safe. They're safe. They're in the clear. You can still buy Roku products on Amazon. Like I said, all those no-name brands of like Android boxes and game consoles. Game consoles are a valuable, solution to streaming your Netflix and your Amazon shit like that. So those are still, you can still buy a PS4 or an Xbox One. I don't know why you'd want to buy one in the first place, but if you wanted to, for someone of lesser taste, you could do that technically through Amazon still. But I don't know. Crazy.
Is this good or bad?
Say,
Tell me what to think, Kyle.
Retail sales ban is bad, okay?
It's bad.
You
Okay.
shouldn't ban. Choice is good. Okay?
Amazon shouldn't be using their position as a online retail behemoth to block the sale of competing products.
Right.
It's bad.
And yeah, I don't know if this is really going to help them. Honestly, it feels like it would hurt them.
I don't know.
People who want to buy Chromecast are going to buy Chromecast somehow.
Fire Stick went over really well, right? Super popular, right?
Tits. Tits. And lastly, I just wanted to close out my half of the show with this Forbes fact of the day. Apparently, Forbes they have facts
Oh, they do.
that they throw up every day on their homepage.
Which would show up, right?
Try refreshing.
Nope.
Damn it!
I think it might be random.
Click my link.
I clicked your link.
Click my link, damn you!
What?
The link works.
I'll try.
I've tested it. Click the link.
Welcome.
There it
Oh,
is.
there we go.
I thought this was interesting. Bill Gates has been the richest person in America for 22 years. He's currently worth $76 billion.
Nice.
And Paul, you brought up a good point that he has also been one of the people who's donated the highest amount of money to different charity organizations
Yes.
and good causes. So it's okay that all that money goes to a man so generous as Bill.
Yes, he's great at doing the charity donations and that kind of thing. That's like it's what he's basically turned his life into now.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, I made my money, I'm retired. I think he does some consulting with Microsoft still and that kind of thing. But now he's like, I do charities and I use my immense wealth to. I mean, granted, he's a businessman. He wouldn't still be the wealthiest person if he wasn't making good business decisions about investments and that kind of thing.
Right.
But he also he does a ton for charities. So
we salute you, Bill.
Gotta respect that,
Mr. Gates, I should say.
Yep.
See you on Sunday for golf. And that's pretty much going to wrap it up for my half of the show, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. But don't go anywhere if you're watching us live because part 2 is right around the corner. We're going to be cutting for a short pee break. I'm going to go take a pee. And then we're going to come back to Paul's half of the show. And we're going to talk more about stuff and tech. And we're going to drink more beer. It's going to be great. Or awful. Who knows? But thanks.
I think it'll be great.
Catch you guys soon. We forgot.
What?
The Johnsons.
Johnsons!
The Johnsons.
Oh, we can't forget the Johnsons.
Brent, go to the Johnsons.
Wait, I need to refresh.
Holy moly, look at all these Johnsons. Oh, I'm getting all hot and sweaty.
Doing some Elvis? Is that Elvis?
I don't know. It's
Wow!
right?
Wow, you're good call, Kyle.
Woo!
For the Johnsons. All
Save
right,
the
we got
day.
some Johnson shout-outs right now. I'm going to start off with a pre-Johnson for Christian.
Okay.
He's probably not watching because that was a pre-Johnson. But, all right.
Okay.
Can I go first?
You go all yours, yeah.
Johnson's for Bob, Katie, Brett, Joe, and
me?
Yer. Yer?
Yeah.
Yer. Yer.
Yeah.
Yer.
It's a Witcher 3 name.
Oh, beautiful. Johnsons to all of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, awesome.
Really appreciate you guys supporting the cause.
And I do have a preemptive Johnson that I want to shout out to Lori. Thank you for picking up one just a couple hours before the show started. And then we've got Johnsons during the show for Brett. Was that a double Johnson? Or?
That's a double Johnson.
Double Johnson!
For Brett. Yes, that double Johnson
Double
for Brett.
Johnson!
Oh, yeah.
Try not to blow your guys' ears
You'll
out.
get a little shipping discount too, Brett. You'll get both orders together.
Got another one from...
Reese?
Rise?
Rise or Reese? I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm sorry,
hard to say.
but thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Right.
It's just if you don't know how to pronounce something, just kind of say it really low. Thank you so much for your...
That was such a nice guy.
it.
Also, Joe Double Johnson. Double Johnson.
Double Joe Johnson.
Double Johnson. Alternating mics.
The echo probably helps with that.
That's right. And then we got... Yeah. Double Johnson on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Johnson. You said Johnson?
I was gonna say but then I remember we were saying Johnson.
Johnson. Why would we say yeah on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3.
No.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. We're moving quickly here. It's hard
And
to keep
Jim.
up with.
And Jim Johnson to you, my friend.
Nari's jumping up.
Thank you guys so much for picking up the Stay Positive shirts. Hope you guys enjoy them. They'll be on their way soon. And
Indeed.
now on that note, your dog is licking me. So
She is.
let's go ahead and cut.
Thanks for watching this half of the show, guys. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with my half. So soon.
Bye.
Have to click the button.